with the onset of the accountability standard of the completion rate and the dropout rate is such a big piece of the secondary school or the high school's accountability rating, all schools have to have some type of program or some type of solution to help combat this, because all students, since the history of time, we've never been able to educate 100% of our students in a conventional setting. Our program, Quest, provides those students that are, we look at them in a criteria order, we rank them, and we go through and we look at who is a best fit for this program. But the main thing that we look at is that we look at those students that are in high need or high risk of dropping out or high risk of leaving us. And we come up with a creative way to keep them in school, get them their diploma, there's no doubt help our completion rate.
Quest is a unique program for children who maybe need an extra little somebody to walk with them on their road while they're figuring out where they are. It is a place where success happens.
This allows a student to still get their education, still get a diploma, but still do whatever is needed in the home life and in the family life.
Every child doesn't fit in a traditional school setting. And many of the kids that we have in Quest are kids that were on our campus and were not successful in a traditional educational setting, in a traditional educational program. And so Quest was an opportunity for them to earn their credits.
A non-traditional academic program such as Quest is a win-win situation for students who do not do well in a traditional setting.
They're able to come here. They may have jobs outside of school that the job keeps them from attending school regularly like they should, or they have other issues in their life, so they can come there and they can work there to where they can get that diploma that graduates them from Red Oak High School.
They're kids that have sometimes struggled significantly socially, emotionally. Life circumstances have come up that have delayed their ability to graduate from high school, but they have a desire to get that diploma. And this is a program that allows us to have some flexibility working around their schedule, if they're working, to be able to allow them to get a diploma while also maintaining the things they need to continue on with their life.
They may be having problems, which then causes either boredom or discipline or absenteeism in different ways. And literally, after speaking to these kids, they really want to succeed. They really want to complete their diploma. They really understand the importance of education. They just felt that they haven't been understood.
I just see this as another opportunity for students to be successful in life, not just school, but beyond their school life, and have doors open and good incomes and better life with their families.
They're more comfortable working at their own pace. So if they feel like they're in a classroom and they aren't able to go as quickly as they would like to go, then Quest fills a need because they can go there, and if they're motivated and they use their time well, they can progress at a quicker rate than they could potentially in a classroom.
That they just needed more one-on-one instruction, they needed to be away from the traditional setting, and it's just a win-win because they succeed in all aspects of their life, and a lot of times it'll turn their lives totally around.
For some of our students who struggle emotionally with the social issues of school, and despite all of the interventions that we've had in place for them through elementary, intermediate, junior high, even moving into high school, that social scene has been very, very difficult for them. They've acquired the skills that they're able to use, but it still does not help them to the degree they need to be successful in high school. Quest will allow them that opportunity to work at an individualized pace, but still have the support of a certified teacher to gain their credits, while at the same time being able to go out into the job market and have a job and work on the skills they need to be successful in a job.
Some students just don't fit into the general mode of a high school student, and they need an opportunity that takes them out of the regular high school and into a place where they can focus on their particular academic needs.
I can go to school from 8 to 12, and then I can go to work from 1 to 9. And I don't live with my parents, so being able to support myself and being able to go to school and further myself is very important for me.
They're walking a road. This is only a bend. It is not the end of a road. And that really their life's just beginning and the doors are still open.
They are bright, but they are so different now in terms of how they process and why they process and their worlds that they're coming to us from, because we have children who are in our high school or who have been in our high school that maybe have been in 8 high schools in their history. And they're flipping around all over the place from one state to another, not just in Texas. So to offer them differences and to help them get to that ultimate goal of a high school diploma, if we're really here for the kids, that's what we have to do.
This year, probably at least half of the kids that are in there, their parents are not that involved. There are some that their parents are absolutely not involved at all.
It is a dropout prevention or a completion rate prevention program for those students who have shown the ability and shown the desire to go to school, but just have gotten so far behind they can't make it up in a conventional setting.
It's something within the heart of the student that we can't fix through the traditional setting, but yet through Quest, they feel like, I can do this, I can still get my diploma, and I can still feel successful because I haven't felt that way because maybe I'm 2 years behind.
What was causing them to struggle in the general ed setting that they weren't being successful? And many times that's the difficult piece. Were they struggling because of social issues that were getting in the way of their learning? Were they struggling because of a home situation that has occurred that has stretched into a long-term situation, and now they have had to either become self-responsible for them, responsible for themselves, or they've had to become a supporter for their family. So many times, once we look at the academic piece and see if they academically can handle the program, we then need to look at what were the social pieces that were surrounding it that were causing them to not be successful in high school. And if those situations are compatible with success in Quest, then Quest is something that we would recommend. And if not, we have to then problem solve to see what else we have available.
Several are going into a career. Several are going into a career, and we have currently some that are working already and will continue working in that field. Others are going into a technical school. They're enjoying the computer work and they're wanting to learn more about that. We've got some going to junior college. We had several that were coming in the minimum and now decide to go into recommended. They literally now have a dream. They have a dream, they have a diploma, and they have hope. And that's been the best part.
That's our end in mind, is graduation. That's what we want, is we want them to graduate. These students, for one reason or another, have gotten behind, and the only thing they can look forward to is graduation. That is the end. And that's what they do, is they serve as a much more than a teacher. They call them, they'll get on the phone, ask them where they're at, whether they're running late. They're coaches. They inspire them much more than just help them with their schoolwork. They're coaches with the end in mind, graduation.
It is so very exciting. We want to give every child, regardless of their circumstances, regardless of whatever's happening in their family life or school life, an opportunity to get a diploma. As a counselor, I just feel firmly that a student has to feel good about their future and about what their future holds.
When you have more graduates and less dropouts, you have a higher completion rate. When you have a higher completion rate, that equals a higher accountability rating. When you have a higher accountability rating, that benefits the community because it will attract new families to our district. It can promote growth. And also, when you have students who have high school diplomas, they are more likely to get better jobs. Statistics show that. They also have a better chance of getting into college and just benefiting them, society, and everybody as a whole.
I really wanted my diploma, and that's what brought me to it, was that I would get a diploma instead of a GED.
You can work at your own pace, and you can work faster. You can slow down if you need to in certain classes. A lot better for people that struggled in school.
It's better than a GED. It's an actual high school diploma that I'll be getting when I graduate. And a GED is a graduation equivalent diploma, but it looks better if you have an actual diploma, and this has really been helping me.
I have a lot of different directions that I'm kind of thinking about going, but the biggest one is I'd like to be a teacher for elementary school.
I felt like I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting at home. I had just quit my job, and I was like, I can be doing more.
Having to give up graduation and other things like prom and stuff like that, it doesn't bother me too much because I'd rather graduate and be able to deal with where I go to school than have to drop out because I can't deal with it. I'd rather get a high school degree as opposed to just dropping out and quitting and getting my GED.
To start a credit recovery or an alternative program takes time and it takes some investigation. Resources are an issue for some districts. I understand that they may be space confined. We were lucky enough in our district to have the space available.
I know parents may be or have many questions about the QUEST program. How, I'm nervous. I want to be sure they're getting a good education. I would like for them to have the opportunity to have the regular school environment with prom and extracurricular activities. But sometimes it boils down to the student. They may not be interested in prom. They may not be interested in extracurricular activities. They're interested in moving on. They're more mature, they're past that. They want a job or they want to move on to the college setting. They want something other than what we can provide. And for the parent, I would say, let's see what we can do to make sure your child gets what they need to be successful in life, get that diploma, but also is happy. We want our children to be happy and feel comfortable wherever they are.
There are a lot of students that need QUEST, and that, that is the best option for them. It's just one of those programs that, you don't let everyone in. You have to, pick and choose. You have to look at that specific person and look at their background, look at everything, maybe even sit down and talk with them.
We have students who are living on their own. We have students who are homeless. We have students who just dropped out of high school because it wasn't the environment for them. So then we give them a whole different environment. It's nothing like the high school. It's more of a job, and it's their responsibility to get it done.
It depends on the person. You'd keep focus, stay on task, all that. I don't have any problem with that.
It's more of a one-on-one with, it's a smaller group. It's not, a big school or anything like that where there's a lot of distractions and a lot of people talking around you. It's just kind of a quiet, place to just sit down and one-on-one, face-to-face with the computer instead of so many distractions.
And it also works to an advantage for other kids, who can't keep up with things because they can sit there and they can watch the lectures and they can watch it until they understand it. And we always have Miss P, and she always tries to help us whenever she can.
Some districts don't have drugs. Some districts don't have gangs. Some districts don't have homeless kids. Every district has one person that fits all those categories, many more. So if we can help one person be successful, my motto is to go after that one.
Definitely do it if you don't have one, because it's just it benefits everyone. It benefits the students, it benefits the district, it benefits the community.
It's very worth it. If you like to see kids, graduate and have second chances, QUEST is an extremely good program for that.
We're very, very blessed in the fact that Red Oak noticed there was a need for a certain group of children who were not being successful due to several circumstances, whether they had to work full-time, whether they had a child, just different reasons that were not being successful, and went out of their way to find a way to meet these children's needs.
You could see their parents. Oh my goodness, I was sitting by one parent, and to see them tear up and clap and be so happy for their child who they thought would never succeed was just amazing.
Although it seems as it's just the last resort for any kid, it's one of the best resorts for them because they get to come over here and they get to be themselves, and they get to get out of an atmosphere that they were not successful in, and I think it makes them very successful to be here.
The opportunity to allow those that chose to move forward and fulfill their dreams, it wouldn't have happened without this, because we're in a society where it doesn't happen without a high school diploma. And I would venture to say over half of my kids will end up in college. So, and that's a good feeling. You can't decide at 18 to 22 where someone's going to be in life. And we have no right to do that. We just have the gift of helping them get there and letting them blossom. And I know when we look back, we're going to go, wow, these kids accomplished more than a lot of kids sitting in regular school. And we gave them the chance.